Hello everyone, thank you for joining me today. So today I wanted to go over a self-empowerment exercise, and obviously I've come down here again to this beautiful location, and but before I get into it, I wanted to give a quick backstory on how I kind of came up with this idea, and it's kind of tailor-made for the situation that we're in. So recently I was getting up each day and I felt, if I was to be honest, if I can pinpoint it, my spirit had lost hope, and I felt that had been removed from my life. And it's not surprising, like take a look around, just look at the media, the news. It's so easy to get swept under that kind of undercurrent of uncertainty, of fear. And to be honest, it's not to shame those emotions, because they're there for a reason, a very good reason. But I don't want it to dictate how I feel about myself, right? And it just reminded me of a quote that I really, really liked from a director that I used to follow called Stanley Kubrick. And that is, no matter how vast the darkness, you are responsible in supplying your own light. So no matter how vast the darkness, we are responsible in supplying our own light. And I was like, yes, it's my job. I've got to be the one to dictate how I feel and think about what might happen in the future. Because really you've got two options and you decide. It's literally like you have a painting, have a blank canvas, and you've got two options. You can either paint a beautiful painting, or you can kind of just give your canvas away to someone else and let them do it for you. But the problem with that is, like, generally it's always based around fear, isn't it? What other people talk about, and our general kind of like global state at the moment is in that mode. So if you kind of give your power away, then it's just going to get taken away from you. And this is the point. And we need to kind of give ourselves hope and motivation again, because really just imagine that your mind is so powerful that it can create its own future. It's really hard to believe that, and it takes guts to actually think that that's possible. It takes guts to think that your future will end up for the best. It's scary. It really feels like, for me to do that, I have to let an old part of me die. And that's what really stops you from doing this. And you'll notice, like, a lot of our habits are built around kind of like this fear protection mechanism. So the only way really we can get around this is to actively concentrate on feeding ourselves thoughts that will benefit us. And what I'm trying to say is, if we can set time now, I want to suggest the practice that you can do. So basically all you need is just a pen and paper, and you can get as creative with this as you want, and create a vision for yourself in the future that actually fits what you want, that your dreams, your hopes, your desires, that those hopes that might have kind of gone away from you before this crisis happened. Because if you really believe it so blindly, and enough of us kind of get together and believe it enough, this might start materializing. Because we can all worry and fear for the worst, but then actually what if we start going, you know what, no, let's take responsibility of this situation that we're in, and let's actually go, yeah, we're in a challenging situation, but we're going to take on this challenge and we're going to create something beautiful out of it. So you're going to really have to go away and think about what it is that you actually want, and you're going to have to spend some time by yourself, because we can now, and allow the heart to kind of like signal to your mind what it is that you truly desire, and then just start like writing it out, start thinking about it, and start getting creative with it. What I'm finding is this kind of situation that we're in now is, I'm finding it's like, for me, a message to refine a lot of my visions, a lot of my goals, to make it a bit more all-encompassing. And I mean, as in, like, all-encompassing not just for me, but goals for the humanity as a whole, also animals, the earth. Just like, what can I do to kind of like support all life forms, in a sense, right? That's just not going to benefit me, but benefit everyone. And hopefully I'd like to do maybe next time a meditation exactly for this reason. And you can get really creative with it and really just delve deep into it. And once you kind of start painting it out, drawing it out, get a vision board, start putting photos on it, and you'll notice by doing this, it's actually quite scary, because it takes, like we're saying, so much guts to actually believe that this could happen to you. Amazing things can happen to you. And the point is to see the challenges as refinements, and kind of like they're there for a reason. So it's like a challenge comes up, it's like, okay, how can I kind of like change that? So yeah, that's kind of the practice. So once you kind of get a vision created for a vision board, in a sense, or however you want to do it, then now we've got to do is spend some time sitting down and ruminating on it, meditating on it. And a beautiful practice that we can do is, imagine that there's two doors you can go through. There's one on the right, one on the left, and the one on the right is the one that you always go through. It's your old life, it's your old patterns, your old habits, and you go through that door every day. Every time you wake up, you're always going through that door. But this time in the meditation, for the first time ever, is you're going through the other door. And this other door is just an infinite vastness of white light. And in there you become the artist, you become the designer of your future, and then start visualizing this vision board. Like, imagine like what it's like to live in this new future. Get really specific with it. Imagine what it feels like, what the sort of person you are going to be in this future, how everyone else is going to benefit from this future, how the earth is, how do you see what I mean? Start being all-encompassing to everything around you. And what that will probably start to do is change your brainwave patterns into actually starting to create the actions that would make this stuff happen. Because generally where you put your focus on is where you're going to go. So it's hard, and right now it's probably going to be the hardest time ever to do this. But what I'm saying is now is the best time ever, because if we can all get behind it and we're all thinking in this way, then you've got hundreds of minds on this. Maybe it might start happening. But really, the choice is ours, and you can get as mad as you want with this. You can imagine that there's infinite amounts of possibilities that exist, and you can tap into each one just depending on your mood and your emotions. But who knows? I'm not trying to like prove a point here, but yeah, so this is really helping me, because the reason why is it gives you excitement to wake up every day, and we've all found that, you know, when we are working on projects and stuff like that, you get up and you're like, right, I'm doing it for this reason, and you're excited, and you start giving you a bit of like, oh, okay, because generally if you look through human history, everyone that ever did something worthy, well, we all do something worthy whether we're silent or not, but anyone that like made a really big impact went through challenges, like serious challenges. And you know, one of my favorite examples or favorite movies is that movie Braveheart, where he stood and he's kind of giving that speech to all his men, and they're about to kind of go to battle, and he's having to like say, look, we've got to fight for freedom. Imagine being in those times, having to actually like fight with a sword. Like, is it really that bad, the situation that we're in now? You know, like what I'm saying is we have way more enough strength to deal with this. Like, yeah, it's just ridiculous. In fact, bring it on. Yeah. So let's do this together. Yeah, smash this exercise out and start doing it daily. And if you just think to yourself, it takes guts to believe in this. It really does. It takes courage. So we've got to remove ourselves up from fear into courage and go, you know what? I'm going to do this. I'm going to take this on. I can't die yet. I've got things to do. Because generally, nature senses when it's time to go, and that's really because your soul has kind of tapped out before your body. But if your soul is still like there and it needs to kind of like do something and go for it, it will generally start nurturing and supporting that goal, because you're either growing or you're sinking, and the choice is yours. And I know which one I'd like to go on, and I'm not saying this is easy. I really struggle myself with this, and but there's no other option. So I'll get out of the way, and you know what to do.